Greetings and peace and blessings to you. Welcome to this episode of Seeds, where I provide you with information, insight for spiritual growth and expansion to help you deepen your spiritual inquiry, access your higher self, and to provide you with practical tools and wisdom to navigate this fast-paced, hurried, noise-polluted, highly digitized 21st century world. Today I want to talk to you about a subject that we all are very intimately familiar with, and that is fear. Fear is something that we deal with on a daily basis that we have to learn to navigate and to diminish. You know, the ever-changing and transforming nature of life is something that we have to embrace. We must awaken each morning without fear and know that the uncertainty of life is something we cannot control. It is something, again, that we must learn not to fear. One of my favorite quotes on the subject of transformation and fear is by Joseph Goldstein. And the quote simply it states, "You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. The many transformations that occur over a lifetime are like waves crashing against the shore. And I think that's what Goldstein's saying here. They never end. When I read this quote, I often think about what surfers do. They ride high atop the crest of a wave for a little while. Eventually they fall and are pounded beneath the surf. Then they gather their surfboards, swim back out, and repeat the cycle of catching a wave, riding it for a while, fall, get pounded by the surf again, and then they go back out over and over again. They're kind of noble features in a way. They show them in movies and on TV as being kind of quirky, sometimes criminal or ne'er-do-wells, but they're noble creatures. They have a certain belief system about life, and I think it works for them. And there's certainly an example to be learned from them. They're just not afraid to ride the waves of change. Each wave is different that they catch. Some are bigger and stronger, and they don't know what the wave will bring with it, how it will crest moving towards the shore. And there's danger there. And they embrace that danger to get a good ride, to maximize their potential at this craft of theirs. So like them, we have to have the courage to throw ourselves into life, taking risks, weather the blows, knowing that we will be exposed to a series of opposites, successes and failures, happiness and sadness, praise and blame. Some years ago, I was trying to, be a poet. So I wanted to impress this famous poet and get into his workshop. And he asked me for a poem that I had written to give him an example. Well, he didn't like my poem, but I liked it. And I'm going to read it for you because I think it really relates to fear and transformation. And it says, "To climb mountains, to descend slopes, to seldom walk the flat and even plain. This road, this journey, this never-ending test. Such is life, a series of ups and downs. And we have to learn not to fear it. We must move into it confidently and committed to what we want to do." Pema Chodron tells this story. She's a Buddhist monk, for those of you that don't know, about a young warrior who was ordered by his master to fight fear. She actually says a young female warrior. She was ordered by her master to fight fear the next morning. And the young warrior went to sleep, couldn't go to sleep that night, went to bed and couldn't sleep. She tossed, she turned. She developed a severe case of high anxiety, and soon it was morning, and she suited up in her armor, her battle regalia, and set off to fight fear. And when she stood across and looked at fear, fear looked larger than life, foreboding, scary. And she became so overwhelmed with fear, she ran and threw herself on the floor in front of fear, on the ground, I should say, and prostrated herself and put her arms out to her side and said, "I don't know how to defeat you. I don't know how to defeat you." Fear said, "I talk loud. I consume your thoughts. I begin to control your mind. But if you don't listen to me, you have nothing to fear. If you don't listen to me, you have nothing to fear. And that's just it. We all have two voices inside. One, of course, is fear. And fear speaks loudly. It speaks volumes. It tells you what you can't do, what you shouldn't do. And if you allow it, it grows to monstrous proportions. You know, fear has no shape or size or physical dimensions at all except that which we give it. And we allow it to grow to these monstrous proportions. It has no voice. And if you don't listen to it, it goes away. Then there's the divine inner cheerleading voice, the voice of God that speaks volumes also about your potential, your greatness, the good things that are on your path. You have to listen to that voice. You have to choose to listen to that voice. The voice of fear also comes from our family members, our co-workers, our friends. We should not listen to them either if their voice is one based on a paradigm of fear, and one based on a paradigm of fearing the unknown, of not wanting to take risks, not wanting to embrace the challenges that life presents, and to stay in our safe zone and hide from them, and not pursue our potential and access our higher self and boldly and confidently walk down your road to your highest potential and your goal. So today, what I want you to do is understand that where fear abides, faith and hope cannot enter. Remember that. Where fear abides, faith and hope cannot enter. So tomorrow morning, suit up like the young warrior that Pema Chodron talked about. Get into the battle. Walk into the battle without fear. Go into it confidently, committed, knowing that there's certain things that will be challenging, but you are ready for it. Even though the challenge is unknown, you have balance. You're not going to listen to the voice of fear, and you will overcome. Thank you for listening. I'm Reverend Dr. Jay Spates. You can find more about me on my website, jspates.com. Enjoy your day. I wish you peace and blessings.